just spent weeks sailing on Virgin Voyages, crossing from Europe to North America. We ate at every restaurant, drank every drink, and when we finally got back to dry land and sobered up, we ranked everything just for you.
You've just booked a Virgin Voyages cruise and you want to know what's the #1 restaurant to dine at? Richard Branson's not available. You're asking us. Take it away, Anna.
All of them. You do not want to miss a dining experience on board any of the Virgin Voyages ships, and we are here today to tell you which ones are our favorite. We will rank them for you. But before we get into the ranking, there are a ton of dining options that are not going to be included in our ranking because they're not the official sit down, have a meal restaurants. These are restaurants that you can pop in, grab a pizza, grab an ice cream, just grab something without having
go
if you want. Damn! Without having to sit down and eat. So we will rank the dining room restaurants where you're going to go in, sit down, and have an amazing meal. But before we do that, we want to tell you about the other restaurants on board Virgin Voyages. Thank you for joining us. I am Anna from Waves and Wandering. We are a full-service travel agency, and we are so glad that you joined us on this voyage. The Galley is Virgin Voyages' answer to the buffet. Now, the big impetus behind the Galley, or the change from what you probably know cruising as the buffet, was to avoid food waste. You know, you go up, you start piling stuff on your plate, it ends up being more than you wanted, or you pile a big scoop of something that you end up not liking and it gets left behind. You don't have this issue at the Galley. Now, there are two ways that you can do the Galley. The first one is you go in, you sit down, you flip up a little flag, and a server will know to come over and you can place your order and they'll go and get it for you.
They put it on their little pad and then somebody just shows up.
Your food just arrives. The other way is you can absolutely go up to the counter. Now, there are multiple stations in the Galley. What are some of your favorite stations?
Well, there's a salad station, and then there's a grab sushi thing that in the afternoon or the morning is a whole grab fruit thing. They've got names. Anna will remember them.
They do have names. And the gist of it is you will find tacos that are freshly made, a noodle bar with some really amazing ramen dishes, burgers and fries.
Ooh, insider tip, secret, just between us and you, there's a daily burger and a daily dinner.
There is. Every day you'll find something on special. So you want to check that out. But you will find a lot of different options in the Galley. You're going to want to go breakfast, lunch, and dinner so that you can try everything. And I highly recommend checking them out for dinner, especially if you haven't made dining reservations in advance, because the dinner could really be something different. It ranges everything from, on recent cruises, we have seen beef Wellington as a dinner special, prime rib, some butter chicken, like Indian cuisine. It changes every night. So it's well worth looking into, especially if you don't want to do a sit-down dining reservation.
The dock and dock house. This is on the aft end of the ship. There's a whole place to sit. There's a bar. They'll take your drink orders. They'll take your food orders. There's music playing. There's trivia. There's games. There's food. Yeah.
There's food. So this is one of my favorite places to stop in for a quick bite. You will find that they have Mediterranean-inspired tapas-size dishes, and they have grilled shrimp, which you could make a meal of because these are amazing. Goat cheese polenta, hanger steak, roasted chicken thighs. They just
octopus,
grilled octopus. They just have a really delicious tapas style menu. And when it's 4:00, you can also order the Opa platter. And that is a collection of Mediterranean specialties like roasted lamb and hummus and just a whole tray of different things. It is a great place to check out, especially if you're a sangria lover, because they do an orange blossom and blackberry sangria that is probably one of my favorite sangrias anywhere. So this is something you don't want to miss.
I'll refer you to previous videos where she says we don't drink.
I don't drink a lot.
Sangria is not drinking.
But
it's
I do
fun.
Drink sangria.
It's fun. Yeah, it doesn't count.
The next place is the Social Club, and we have spent a lot of time there because it's a great place to go for trivia, for puzzles, for karaoke, and for popcorn, which is my favorite must-have snack of the day.
Pretzels, hot dogs, there's an ice cream thing, there's some treats, fruit. This is, again, here's one of the things that you're probably getting by now. Every one of these places isn't just food. It's a little adventure, things to experience, things to do, a reason you're going to be there anyway.
And the social club is generally open in the afternoon and well into the evening. And you can walk up and order. They have specialty hot dogs, like a Philly hot dog, which mimics the toppings on a Philly cheesesteak. They have a Reuben hot dog. There's a vegan hot dog. They have chicken wings in a couple of different flavors. They have adult milkshakes, which are boozy and delicious. So you definitely want to make it a point on your voyage to stop there. They don't have ice cream there, but we'll get to that next. And the ice cream will be at Lick Me Till Ice Cream, and they will feature 6 to 8 different homemade ice cream flavors every day, including a vegan option and a flavor of the day kind of a thing. You can go and check out the flavor of the day. But not only do they have these ice creams, they have several different kinds of cone that you can order, and all of this food is included. I don't know if we mentioned that yet, but all of this is included as part of your cruise fare.
Here's one of the best things about Lick Me Till Ice Cream. It's located right near the elevators in the center of the ship where you're going all the time for parties, events, walking from one end to the other. It's just conveniently located in a fun place to pop in, grab yourself a single cone, share it with your sweet lady as you're walking around.
Because it's so convenient. If you need 3 or 4 ice creams a day, you know what? You're walking past it anyway. You don't even have to make the extra trip.
You need to stop just to try all the different flavors.
You really do. The next place that we want to mention is the Sun Club Cafe. Now, this is out on deck on the ship, and Sun Club it's poke bowls. It's poke bowls, bao buns. There are some really delicious and not bad for you treats up at the Sun Club Cafe. But the one thing I don't recommend is the spicy popcorn, because I am not a spice lover, and it almost burned my face off.
She's a social club popcorn gal.
I'm a plain old, butter and salt kind of gal. This popcorn literally almost burned my face off. Not going to say that it's not good, because if it's your thing, definitely go and have it. But this is just a unique little dining location. It's usually only open in the afternoon.
It's topside. You get to walk out on deck, enjoy the sun.
Yeah. The next place that we want to mention is the pizza place. It is my second favorite pizza at sea.
It was our first up until recently, when we were out on a different cruise line and they got one-upped in the voting. But it's an amazing place. Stop by, no matter how late in the evening. You know the pizza rules. And it's just a great place to get a fresh made pie and made to order.
Yeah, these pizzas are made to your specification. They have a menu where you can get, your standard cheese pizza, pepperoni pizza, but then they have specialty ones like chicken pesto, white truffle pizza with egg on top. I've not tried that because I'm not an egg fan, but it really kind of looks good. Or the two fly for a white pie, which is a white pizza that you can top with stuff. You can mix and match toppings if you want, but the best thing about it is this pizza is made for you. You walk in, you place your order, you can have a seat. 10 minutes later, they will hand you the to-go box, and you can take that pizza anywhere you want on the ship.
That's really the thing that really ups the bar on this to make this the number 2 cruise pizza at sea. When you get your pizza, they just don't hand you a plate and go, here's what we got, get out of here, and then put another lid over top of it. You get a box like a person at a pizza joint.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
The other thing that we want to mention is the Grounds Club and the Grounds Club 2. Now, this is the specialty coffee destination. The Grounds Club is where you'll go if you want to grab a pastry in the morning, a fresh cookie. They have all different kinds of treats there that you can grab and go with your coffee.
Their hours overlap during the day. Grounds is open earlier. Grounds Club 2 is open later. So you can always get your coffee no matter what time of day and spice it up.
The best thing about Grounds Club 2,
well, yeah, that they have a full bar, so you can
booze up your coffee.
You can make your coffee boozy.
If caffeine is not enough of a jolt for you.
Like everything else, sailors. Oh, wait, should have said that at the beginning. When you're on Virgin Voyage, there's a lot of little name changes and things to just make it fun. You're not a cruiser, you're a sailor. Well, sailors, when you want room service, you get ship's eats. They come to you in these amazing stackable little tray things. Makes it so easy to just spread out in the room, have your late night treat, your early morning fare, and then stack it back up and put it out.
Super easy to clean up. You don't have to worry about balancing trays and drinks and everything else. Everything fits in these little containers. It's a beautiful thing. The one thing that you need to know about Ship Eats on board Virgin Voyages is there's a $10 service charge to deliver. Now, everything on the menu that you want to eat is free, and that includes gummy bears, popcorn, snacks, full meals. They have a New York strip steak. They have a sea bass. They have all kinds of really amazing food. But if you order a beverage, a cocktail, alcoholic drink or whatever, if that drink is $10 or more, you won't have to pay the service charge. They will just, it just comes off your bill automatically. And if you have bar tab, that $10 that you spend on the drink through Ship Eats, that gets charged to your bar tab. So that may be the way to go. If you want a late night cocktail and a snack, just get some Ship Eats.
If you're not a drinker and you just want to get an extra can of soda, ginger ale, something just to have in the mini fridge, way to do it.
And now comes the best part of the video where we are going to rank our favorite Virgin Voyages restaurants. And I will preface this by saying that we literally, honestly, truly have not had a bad meal on board Virgin, any of the ships at any time. We would go back to all of these restaurants. When you book your cruise 45 days out, you can make reservations for these restaurants. I highly recommend that you do. If you don't make them,
for those of you that are in a rock star suite, 60 days.
Yes. If you get on board the ship and you don't have reservations made yet, I highly recommend that you go immediately and make the reservations. But the best thing is they only let you book each restaurant one time if you're on a short cruise, 2 times if you're on a longer cruise. And why do I say that's the best thing? Because it will encourage you to try all of them. I do not eat Mexican food at home. I am spice averse. I do not like spicy food. So I had to go on one of my cruises to Pink Agave, which is the Mexican restaurant. And you might be surprised to know that in my ranking, Pink Agave is not where you expect it to be. So here we go. We're going to dive right into our rankings. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 restaurants. So from number 6, what is your number 6 restaurant?
So my number 6, with number 1 being the best, I would have to say it's Extra Virgin. I love what you can get at Extra Virgin. I love the affogato. I love the meals. There's a drink there that I got one time that was amazing, but only available there. I haven't been able to recreate it. And every time we go back, I order all the drinks on the menu. I can't capture that flavor. It's like that Virgin experience is just gone and I can't get it again.
That is something important to note, though, that there are specialty cocktails at each of these restaurants. So if there's a cocktail that you fall in love at one place, you may not be able to get it at one of the other restaurants.
There's really not a reason for me to put it in 6th place, except for the fact that there's others that just have that one little thing that just makes it a little better. It's an amazing, wonderful time, wonderful meal.
Number 6 for me is Test Kitchen. And as I said when we started, there's not a bad restaurant. I know. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the Test Kitchen, except there are some foods on the menu that are a little bit weird. Now, how Test Kitchen works is you just go in and you sit down and there is a menu. Now, over the course of, let's say, we did a 16-night cruise. There were 3 different Test Kitchen menus. So if you're going to be there for longer than 3 or 4 days, you may even want to try and go 2 different times so that you can try the next menu.
We're going to give the Test Kitchen secret menu lingo so that you know A, B, and sometimes C.
Yeah, so there are 3 different menus, but there are things on each menu that I'm not particularly fond of. There's an egg dish surrounded by peas. 2 of the things that I loathe when it comes to culinary options are peas and eggs. So that probably in and of itself would put it on the bottom. But there are some quirky things that we've had there that are just a little too unique. And you may end up leaving there thinking, I'm going to go see what they have up in the Galley. What's the burger of the day?
You might start calling that other place Test Kitchen too.
It is definitely an experience I would highly suggest that you try. It's eclectic. It's fun. It's weird. The beverage pairings, there are some weird ass drinks that they serve with these things, but there is some weird ass food there. There's like a blue cheese ice cream. There's an asparagus ice cream. There is a corn custard that looks like an ear of corn. There is just some quirky little foods there. Some of them are truly, truly delicious. Some of them are just a little far out there. And if you're hungry, just know that go to the social club, get a hot dog.
All right. What's number 5 on your list?
Number 5 on my list is the Wake. Now we did we did an informal survey on our 16-night cruise, and we asked other sailors which restaurant, if they could only eat at one the entire 16 nights, which one would it be? And I would say almost all of them, maybe all of them, said it would be the Wake. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Wake. It is perfectly delicious. It's steak and seafood, and it's kind of a, I don't know, the vibe is supposed to be sort of like pearly under the sea sort of a thing. It reminds me of a 1970s movie set for some reason. The food is very good. I just don't think there's anything really special there. And I don't love the chairs. If you're sitting in a chair, the chairs are not necessarily the most comfortable.
Number 5 for me is this is a tough one. Pink Agave. It's she raves about this steak thing and this street corn, and I'm like, I make that at home. But she doesn't eat it at home. She likes it there. So it's just like it's one of those cases where it's a great place. There's great meals. There's great drinks. It's amazing fun. You have a great time there. But all of these are good, and there's got to be that one little thing that bumps it up a notch. And I put Pink Agave in. It's 5 out of 6.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 choice is Razzle Dazzle. Even now, the revamped Razzle Dazzle Lucky Lotus. It's number 4 because I think it's a lot of fun. There's some great food there. It is a great meal. It's just the others have that little bit of thing that makes it just a little more fun and entertaining for me.
I also ranked Razzle Dazzle as number 4. We so rarely agree when it comes to restaurants. We were on Scarlet Lady right after it came out of dry dock, and we were
Scarlet 2.0.
We were some of the first people to get to try Lucky Lotus at Razzle Dazzle. I would say I preferred the old Razzle Dazzle to Lucky Lotus, although there were a few things on the Lucky Lotus menu that I did enjoy. What I didn't enjoy is that I felt like it was a very limited menu. It seems heavy on the Chinese focus when it comes to Asian cuisine, but it was also kind of heavy on the spiciness. And again, as somebody that doesn't do spice, I eliminated all of the things that had peppers or something, that I knew I wasn't going to like in it. But he very much enjoyed it. I know that I can get a couple of the dishes from Lucky Lotus dinner at Razzle Dazzle brunch. It's just an okay restaurant. It's fun. There's nothing wrong with it. I enjoyed my meal there. I do prefer the original Razzle Dazzle to Lucky Lotus.
All right, Anna, we're into the top 3. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Extra Virgin. And this, again, you've heard me talk about it before. This is the Angelo Lutz curve. I think if I'm going to go to an Italian restaurant, it should be at least as good as my favorite Italian restaurant at home, and that's Kitchen Consigliere in Collingswood, New Jersey. And Angelo Lutz, he's an Italian food miracle worker. I love everything that I've ever had there. Extra Virgin, I don't even so much enjoy the Italian food as much as I like some of the other food. They have a good steak there. They have a really good pork cheek, which is not anything I've even seen on a menu except on Virgin Voyages. That's probably my favorite dish there. But I also really love the end of the meal. They do an affogato. If you don't know what an affogato is, it is an Italian style gelato, and they pour hot espresso over it. So it becomes like this creamy, frothy, almost milkshakey kind of a thing. And then you can add toppings, and it's everything from meringues and chocolate chips to pine nuts. It's just and they do it tableside, which makes it fun. So I would say that Extra Virgin is my number 3.
Affogato, to summarize: dessert, made to order, espresso. What else do you need to know? You gotta get it. Number 3 for me, since you asked, not.
I just assumed you would jump right in.
This gets really tough because these are really tough choices in the top 3. When you're making your reservation, what's the one that I want to make sure you go to or go to twice? And it's going to be Gun Bay.
Okay.
Gun Bay is round table, family group seating, or family and strangers. You get to have a great time. There's drinking games. See the link above to Anna trying soju for the first time. It's an amazing experience. There's wonderful food. If you have someone that doesn't have any dietary restrictions, they just bring out everything. If there's any dietary restrictions or temperature concerns, everything gets adjusted to your needs, and it doesn't interfere with the fun of anyone around you at the table. It's just a great time, and all around, it's a wonderful experience.
I would say in terms of food, my number 2 is Gun Bay, and it would be number one, except for the awkwardness of the experience for me. I am not a mixer. I am not a social mingler kind of a person. And if you go with less than 6 people in your party, they do seat you with other people. So you are going to have to participate with other people, play the drinking game with other people. I absolutely love the food at Gun Bay. And if I could only choose one restaurant for a 16-night cruise and I had to eat dinner at the same place, this is the place I would go. They grill everything there for you. There are all kinds of meats and seafood. It is the best scallion pancake I've ever had. And that's one of my favorite Asian food kind of items. You have the ability to sort of customize your experience. So there's a boneless chicken dish that's really, really good.
That's a good point. This is a Korean barbecue, not a hot pot.
Yes.
They cook for you.
They cook for you. But the opportunity to say, I don't want the sauce on my chicken, they'll just put it on the side. Or if you order bibimbap, they will spicy it up for you.
How could you not get your bibimbap?
Yeah, they will spicy it up for you, or they will leave the spice out of it. So it is somewhat customizable, and they absolutely have an ability to deal with people that have food allergies. So if you are allergic to shellfish, for example, they will cook all of the meats and vegetables first, so that you're not contaminated with the seafood that they put on. I just really, really like the food. The only reason it's not number one for me is because I always feel just a little bit awkward sitting with people that I don't know.
So number 2 for me is the Wake. The reason it's number 2 is it's a steakhouse at sea. You can get your steak. Now there are 2 extra charges. There's a couple, well, 3 actually. Extra, might be even more now. Stop counting. Yeah, stop counting. There's some extra charge items you can get here. Do you need your tomahawk? You can get your tomahawk. You want your tower? You can get that. And you can get your mussels or your oysters, depending upon what they have available. So definitely it is a must do. It would be number 1, except for my number 1 choice.
And ta-da, your number 1 choice.
My number 1 choice is Test Kitchen.
So weird.
If you can only book one restaurant on Virgin, on your cruise sailor, you have to go to Test Kitchen. There are things that you will eat there that will bring about certain culinary senses. Things that when have you ever taken a fork to your mouth and gone, and then had somebody come up to you and go, "How was it, sir?" And you look at them and like, what? And for 2025, starting with Scarlet 2.0, Virgin expanded the drink pairing menu. Now you can get a non-alcoholic pairing, a wine, a low or a high alcohol pairing to really add to the complement of really gross things that you eat and drink here. You will find
there's some nasty drinks.
I know. That's part of the challenge of it. We go back to Test Kitchen. We've had all the menus on multiple ships. It never fails to give you something that you go, who made this?
What happened to them in their childhood?
What did I do to make you mad at me? And that's part of the adventure, because right before or right after it, you get this thing that is just like a culinary piece of artwork, or it's gross looking and it tastes cool and
He crawled underneath. He's under our feet.
It is just an amazing time and a wonderful experience. Anna, what's your number 1?
My number 1, after I have told you that I don't like Mexican food, is the Mexican restaurant Pink Agave. It is the best steak I think I may have ever had. It is just grilled to perfection. It has a cheese topping. There's a little bit of a sauce on it. They have an appetizer that is esquites. It's like a street corn that is just so, so good. They usually start your meal with some kind of a mixed savory nut thing with some kind of a spicy seasoning. It's not even that spicy. I can eat it. I just love everything about Pink Agave. I cannot recommend it enough. I've never eaten anything there that was too spicy for me or that I didn't like. They have a huge, huge array of margaritas because they have a huge bar of tequilas and mezcals. That's right, because I don't drink enough. I don't know. You can just literally spend an evening there. And they do have a bar
That's
there.
A really good point. This is, of all the restaurants, Pink Agave is one where you could be there for 3 hours.
Yeah, they have, some nights they have live music. It's just fun. It's boisterous. It is a great, great meal. Highly recommend it. Don't want you to miss it. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention before we sign off for the evening is there are, as of our last Virgin Voyages sailing, a sip and savor option where you will get a cocktail that is paired to an entree. It does limit the menu a little bit because not everything from the main menu is going to be on the sip and savor menu. There is an extra charge of around $35 for it, but you do get a cocktail for every course. So an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert cocktail.
It actually works out cheaper than buying the drinks per, you know.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So if that's something like he likes to try all of the different cocktails at the different restaurants, this is a way to kind of incorporate it in with some of the meals that you're going to have. And if on this abbreviated menu are the things that you were going to order anyway, it's definitely worth looking into that as something to try.
Anna, did we cover everything?
Did we cover everything?
Well, I'm asking you. Did we cover
I'm
everything?
afraid now that I missed something.
Afternoon tea.
Oh, yes, afternoon tea. So Virgin Voyages, almost across the board, everything that you put in your mouth that is not an alcoholic beverage is included, except afternoon tea. And it is something that you should probably experience at least once. It's offered on the sea days, and the price is $20 per person, unless you want to add bubbles, and then the price jumps up, I think, to $30. Not 100% sure. Jim will correct me and put it on the screen. But you get all of the components of a traditional tea. There's a variety of teas for you to choose from. You can have your teapot refilled if you want. They have tea sandwiches, freshly made scones with clotted cream and lemon curd. And then they have a selection of sweets that you can finish up with. It is a lovely way to spend the sea day, a little bit of time in the afternoon. And you don't need a reservation. They will have tables set up at the Pink Champagne Lounge. It's called Sips. You can just go there. You will see the tables already set up. You just sit down at a table and someone will come and take your order for your tea.
I believe that's all of them, except for one more.
What else did I forget?
The supper club.
Oh my goodness, yes. Lowell's Supper Club. Now, Lowell's Supper Club is a special evening. It's a whole event.
Did we script this out?
We did not script it out, obviously. We are flying by the seat of our pants.
That's actually a really good point I want to bring up. Anna, can you remember something from all of these restaurants you've mentioned so far?
Absolutely.
That right there, if you need a review for dining on Virgin Voyages.
Leaning.
Well, the dogs move the camera. Angus has got to get into film somewhere every episode.
We are a professional operation here. No dog and pony show.
Well, the problem is Angus hears us talking about a cruise and he thinks we're leaving him again.
Yeah.
There are restaurants that we go to that you can't remember the next day.
It's true.
And then these are all, you can remember something from them weeks and months later.
Absolutely. But to go back to Lowell's Supper Club, so it's also included with the price of your cruise, so you don't have to pay anything extra. I will caution you, first of all, you do need a reservation, and you have to do it as soon as you get on board the ship. You can't do it in advance, but it will sell out. So you want to do it as soon as you get on board. Depending on the length of your cruise, it may be offered.
I guess sell out is a bad word because it's not extra. It
books out. You will not find a reservation. Depending on the length of your cruise, it'll be offered 1, 2, or 3 times during your cruise, almost like the menu variation at Test Kitchen. But what Lowell's Supper Club is an appetizer, an entree, a dessert. You get a selection of cocktails. You do pay extra for those, but they're worth trying. And then while you're enjoying your meal, you get a stand-up comedy show. The comedians that appear on the ship will come and perform for you while you're enjoying your dinner. So that's definitely something not really reviewable. The meal there, okay, I don't remember what we ate there. So the meal there is not memorable.
I remember food.
And that may be another thing where after you leave the supper club, you might want to go upstairs and see what the burger of the day is or see what they've got on the menu in the galley. It's not something that I think the meal is be all and end all, but it's definitely a really cute show and you want to go and see that.
And the experience is different from the other comedy acts, so you definitely don't want to miss it.
Yeah, they try not to repeat. If they are appearing at Lowell's when they do their headlining show, they usually do different jokes and stuff. So it's not like you're going to hear everything repeated. It's definitely worth going to. And that is it. That is our ranking and review of the dining experiences on board Virgin Voyages
For 2025.
For 2025. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to boop the bell if you want to be notified right away when we post something. And if you need help planning your next Virgin Voyage or any kind of vacation, don't forget to hit me up, Anna@wavesandwandering.com, or just leave a comment below and I am happy to reach out to you. And also, if you've sailed Virgin Voyages, don't forget to leave a comment below and tell me what your favorite restaurant is and why it's not Test Kitchen. And we will see you real soon.